Hi guys, I'm Kylie. The subject that I was chosen to do, the first one I wanted was actually chosen, so I had to kind of go with the second one, and it was lying for journalists. And the first thing that I had to look up was what exactly is a journalist? Well, I looked it up on Google, and it says a person who writes for newspapers or magazines or prepares news to broadcast on radio or television. So, as I'm reading through this case in our book, it talks about how lying can be okay, and then again, it cannot, only in certain circumstances. So, my opinion of this is, watching the news and, things are overrated and things are, blown way out of proportion. I think that lying is unethical in any situation, unless it was life or death situation. And, some of the things that we've talked about in class, codes of ethics, social contract, lying has always touched base in all those areas. And, I just feel like in all of my discussions that I've talked about when it comes to lying, that unless it is in a life or death situation, you shouldn't lie. That's my ethic and my moral view. I feel like the truth is always going to come out, whether it's on a news broadcasting or whether it's to a friend or anything like that. So, what is their motive behind it to tell this story this way or anything like that? And I feel like it's public ratings. Whenever they want to tell a story, they want to make it, sometimes 10 times worse than what it is to get those stories out there, to get the public to see them. And depending on if it's in this person's favor or this person's favor. If it's in this person's favor and they want that juicy news, even though half of it's untrue, their ratings are going to go up. Those news broadcasters are going to, get more public for their, their company, or whether it's CNN or NBC or, whatever the case may be. So I feel like what their motive is they want to tell the public what they want to hear. And that's not always the case. That's like telling your friend, she comes to you or he comes to you about a situation and you want to only tell them what they want to hear so you don't hurt their feelings, or you want them to like you more, or whatever the case is. Lying, deception, anything, I think it's wrong. People are not always going to hear what they want to hear in life, and they need to know that, especially whenever it comes to news. So my biggest thing on this lying for journalists is I believe that they, if they're preparing this report or, whatever the situation is, whether it's a murder or whether it's something good even, because there are lots of good things on the news. I feel like if they are going to lie about it in any way, shape, or form, they need to let someone else deal with it. Don't pick that story. Or if they do want to choose that story, and they only want to touch a few pieces of information on it, give that information out and don't lie about the rest. Don't stretch the truth. Don't add things to make it what you think the public wants to hear. Like I said, ethically, I think that it's totally wrong. And here in the book, it does say that according to the Society of Professional Journalists Handbook on Ethics, this lady has summarized that lying or deception may be used only when all other means have been exhausted, or when the story illustrates an extremely serious social problem or prevents profound harm to individuals. Also, when the journalists reveal their deception to the public and when the harm prevented by the information outweighs the damage caused by the deception. So in this case, if you don't want riots to break out over this information, or you don't want, these bad things to happen, it's okay to lie. When in reality, that truth is still going to come out. One instance or one example I can use that was most recent is Ferguson. That whole case with that, I know that there are journalists who just blew that up to pieces so just the public would eat it alive. And then there are other people that, thought opposite of it. This is a lie. This is a lie. Why aren't they telling this? Why aren't they telling this? Whenever I just feel like, whenever they make a story like that so huge that, like I said, their ratings go up. Some of the public that was in favor to the cop, they want to hear that. But yet there could have been another news broadcasting that was in favor of, the unfortunate child that it happened to, or there are going to be two sides to every story. There's always going to be somebody who agrees with it and who disagrees with it. The same thing with lying. There are people that are going to be all for it, and there are going to be people who are not for it. And, ethically, I think it is wrong. That's my feeling about it. And moral issue at stake, obviously, is lying. And unless it is in a life or death situation, I feel like there's a way around lying. There really is. The people out there, whenever it comes to journalists and them making their stories and things like that, the public is eventually going to find out, or before it's even broadcasted, they're already going to hear 50 million things, whether it's by a friend or social media. They're going to hear the worst of it and they're going to hear the best end of it. And then whenever it comes on the news, they're going to think that they know the facts. And then before they know it, they're not really going to know what goes on because everybody's lying about it. The truth isn't always right out there. And I just think that it should be a journalist's job to put the truth out there. Put the truth out there so the public can see it, whether it is good or bad. There's going to be an outcome of it. It's life. It's going to happen. Whenever it comes to the code of ethics and social contract and things like that, lying isn't in any kind of profession. I feel like it's not okay, especially whenever you're putting news like this out for the people to see it, the public. I mean, that's huge. It's broadcast on national television. Everybody watches it. And if you don't watch it, you're going to hear it from someone who does watch it. There are things that I don't hear on a daily basis because I don't watch the news, but I have a grandma that watches it pretty much religiously. And I hear it from her. She's going to have her opinion about it. And then that information that transfers to me, if I start talking to coworkers about it, they may have a different story because of all the lying going on. Why can't we just have one story of what really happened? Because it's there. The truth is there. All in all, do I think that this undermines their credibility when they do lie? Yeah, it does. But there are people out there, there are viewers that are watching that may not know those lies. And that's where they get away with it. They have people, I'm not going to say uneducated, educated and uneducated. There are those viewers out there that don't think rationally. There are the viewers that do think rationally. Some people are going to see through the lies. Some people are going to believe every single bit that they hear. And I just think that, ethically, it's not okay, especially whenever you're broadcasting information to everybody, even overseas or, whatever. I just think that the truth should be told, and it's pretty clean cut and dry. But I hope to see everyone else's presentations, and I hope that was good. Thanks.